Hello, everyone, and welcome back to week 2 of the Collegiate Chess League's 4th season. We have Rochester Institute of Technology versus University of Virginia's B team in Division 5. I'm joined back again with National Master Caleb Denby, who will be joining us again for this match. Caleb, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello, I'm Caleb. You probably remember me from an hour ago. So I'm still here. They didn't fire me yet.
Not yet.
And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. This is I love this league, and I think we're gonna see some interesting games.
We love you too, Caleb. So yeah, this match has already started here. I see we have the top board from Virginia against the 4th board from Rochester.
Yeah, so that's gonna be Patrick, aka Senpai Patrick, against Def Chess Master.
Actually, I think
Who,
wait,
wait,
is it
that's board 1
Alexander?
versus
Yeah.
board 1.
Is that
Is
right?
that right?
No, I think I have the board flipped for 1 and 4. I think Senpai Patrick, if we look at their rating, that's actually the board 4. Def Chess Master is the top board for Rochester. This is Abraham Glasser. So
Okay, makes sense.
yeah, let me switch those two boards really quick. Shouldn't be an issue.
And Abraham off to a very interesting start. What is this structure? So we had the Sicilian wing gambit. Wow. Okay.
The what gambit now?
The wing gambit it's the wing gambit, right?
I don't know. I know very little chess opening knowledge, so that's definitely your expertise.
Well, I know very little about the Sicilian, but yeah, b4 on move 3, not move 2. Maybe move 2 is the wing gambit. I don't know, but b4 early on is a pawn sacrifice, but Def Chess Master was having none of it, did not accept the extra pawn, and finds himself now, I think, in a slightly uncomfortable position. I don't really trust this d5, e6, f5 structure. You can see that pawn on e6 is a little bit weak, and that light squared bishop on c8, not going to be having a fun time this game.
Interestingly, I'm just looking at the evaluation here. Apparently, knight takes d4 is just crushing for black. Apparently.
Knight takes d4. Ah, that's a tactic. Yes.
So what's happening there?
There's a tactic.
So knight takes...
yeah, oh, he finds it as well. So white cannot take back because bishop takes d4 would attack a rook on a1. And by the laws of chess, that rook cannot move. So
not even...
There you go. Rook's dead.
Well, that's a nice shot from the top board from Rochester, and this is round 1, so it's to be expected that they do well because they're playing the fourth board of the other team. So you can see the rating disadvantage is huge. Also, speaking of board 1 versus board 4, Senpai Patrick actually... Oh, I was watching them play Chess Steve. That must have been a pre-round warm-up.
Ooh, well, it didn't pay off for Patrick.
It didn't seem to go well.
I was talking mad trash about Black's position, but then this tactic is going to be good. Also, wow, raid of 94 from Alyssa Zhu. Thank you so
much. Alyssa, that is one of the players of the Collegiate Chess League. I hope your match went well. Thank you so much. Shout out to you. How'd your team do? Right now, we're covering a Division 5 matchup between Rochester Institute of Technology versus University of Virginia. And looks like the top board from Rochester here is going to win this game. We had a bishop sacrifice on top of the lost rook. So white's going to be really deep in this material loss. But they're trying to stir up some attack on the king. I don't think it's going to work out, but like knight g5 is one idea.
I mean, this is really all you can do when you blunder big material early. It's just it's like, yeah, all right, let's just go nuts. Let's attack the king. Try and make something happen. But I don't really believe it here. The e6 pawn is hanging, but I don't think it matters. Don't think it matters.
It matters, dude. Every pawn matters, Caleb. Don't let that
Not
pawn...
that one.
No.
Not today. Not this time.
So Alyssa said that they won, but she didn't do great. But what matters is that you won. So it doesn't really. It's a team thing, right? So like,
If the team won, then you did great. You did
there's this
just as well as you needed to.
one of our teams last season in Division 8, they had two super strong top boards, but two very weak bottom boards. And I think like the entire season, the top two boards won every single game, and the bottom two boards lost every game. Or
Ow.
like if either of their bottom two boards like had an upset, they would win the match. And I think ultimately they ended up winning their division with this formula. They've moved
Sometimes
up.
you just need bodies and chairs. Gotta fill out the team. It doesn't matter how you do,
Yeah.
just so long as the team is complete.
Big Joe Bruin fan here. Hello, Pinkers. You're so sweet. You're too kind. But thank you. Okay, let's look at another game actually.
Yeah, willing to call that one quits. Think White has not a lot of chances left.
So I'm looking at the other top board, Alexander from Virginia against the bottom board of Rochester, and it looks like this is a bit more even.
Saptile Scythe, what a name.
Yeah, it looks like Black is really taking it to them. We have an opposite side castles game, which is always very exciting and fun because that is the most entertaining, in my opinion, with the opposite sides attacks. And yeah, G4 is hitting.
Yeah, this one looks more entertaining for Black than White, unfortunately. Black is way ahead on the attack. The Pawn Storm has come, and White has not yet begun the Pawn Storm. And the big difference here is, yeah, the difference is in the bishops. You can see White's bishop on h2, and as Joe just pointed out, it is actually going to be captured if g3 is found here. But yeah, the bishop on c5, even without g3, was way stronger than this bishop on h2. And yeah,
they find
g3
it.
is played, and that's just like in the last game. That bishop cannot. Well, it can legally move. It can take on g3, but it's not going to make a difference.
I mean, that does make a difference. Takes a pawn.
I don't know. Maybe not as far as the result is concerned.
No, the game should be won by Alexander. They do take on g3.
Yeah, so you can play queen takes, but then you're going to run into rook dg8, and then you're pinned down the g file. Something is going to take on h3, and you got problems. You've got problems.
Yeah, rook h3 is going to hurt.
You know what they say, Joe? White has 99 problems, and king safety is one of them.
That's a lot of problems.
Yep.
But White has a counter threat. Look at that. The f6 knight is hanging.
The f6 knight is hanging. I agree. So I found a way for Black to lose. So Black might try knight takes d5, pawn takes d5, and then queen takes h3. But you have to look out for rook e8 check there. I'm not entirely sure what's happening.
Rook e8
would win.
King steps up.
Are we gonna see it? Queen h3 loses the game. Loses the game to rook e8.
Oh, because the pawn covers c6.
Yeah.
Oh,
we see
there it
it
is. Rook e8.
We see it. Commentator's curse.
Caleb,
rook e8 wins.
How are you in the player's headset?
No, I'm just way better at finding ways to lose games than I am at finding ways to win them. So rook e8, the key is after king d7.
Oh, they find it.
It's played. So king d7, it's not over yet. You have to find queen takes h3 there, and then the rook on h8 is actually overloaded. Can't defend both the rook on g8 and okay. Well, that's just a free queen. Pawn takes queen.
But I mean, that was their best. That was their best. Oh, you said if king. No, if they move...
So king d7, there's queen takes h3, and then you have rook takes g8.
No, but there's queen takes f7, mate.
Oh, is that just mate? Yeah, that's just mate.
That's just mate. So you had to go for this.
So this was the best that they could do. Wow, nice find by a Saptile Scythe, by the way. Those are some big tactics.
Yeah, that was unfortunate for Alexander. They should have just taken on h3 with the rook first. Although I guess that did hang the knight, right? So I don't know. But that still looked really good.
Yeah, rook h3 was probably working. If you take on f6 with the queen, I think you do have rook takes g2 check, and you should be mating pretty quickly there. I think that would have been forced mate. But instead, he found the way to lose, the same way to lose that I found.
But this game is not over yet.
Yeah, I can't believe that actually happened, by the way. Just I call out the one way to lose the game, and then it happens. It's just...
Well, like I said, the game's not over yet, so...
Yeah, white only has a queen for a rook and a piece. And by the way, black has quite a bit more time here. Double the time.
But that's not that much time.
It's not that much time, but
it
is more time.
It is objectively more. That is true.
Oh, and Drexel chess returning the raid.
Hey, Drexel chess, thank you so much. I hope your matches went well.
King h1 gets mated.
King g1.
Yeah.
So I guess you were right that bishop takes g3 did not impact the results of this game. I guess.
Of course not. I never lied.
All calculated. Caleb's never been wrong, actually. So that is a point for Virginia. Their top board escaping what could have been a disaster.
Maybe we should... Let's go to Gig versus the pawns. It looks like they're in some kind of time scramble here.
I see this.
And
I agree with you.
Even. Black is trying to trade, but yeah, this...
Is there bishop d6 check? Bishop d6.
G7, bishop e5. You do have f6 to save your life.
F6. Okay, here self-pinning. Self-pinning. Wait, but there's still bishop d6.
There was bishop g7 last move, or bishop d6.
Oh, but now it's crushing.
Yeah.
There goes the rook. So the time pressure was too much for the pawns.
That'll do it.
So Christian Fink is actually the board 2 for Rochester. That's rough. Pawn push is mate.
G4 was mate in 1, right? Tough. G4 still good, wins the rook.
But also forking the rook, yeah.
G4 still good, still wins the rook.
I don't know if it was mate. Oh yeah, it was mate because the rook was on e7. Okay, well, I mean, maybe Caleb can find a way for white to lose this.
Yeah, so knight g3 and then king f4.
King f4. Oh!
No, king f4.
He's going for the pawns, but why? Now there's gonna be a queen.
You needed a checkmate here.
It's too late.
There's all sorts of fun mating patterns.
With the king f4, dude. I feel like that could have worked. Like, look at how quickly white's pushing this pawn.
Yeah, white was just on the move with that pawn. I don't think they were ready for a mate threat.
It's too late. All right.
Tough.
So the board 3 from Virginia gets, I guess, an upset win, but not really. They were higher rated. Def Chess Master also won their game. No surprise there. But now we have the 4th game. And it looks like black should win this one up a knight.
Looks like it's... This is very refreshing after the slew match, by the way. I can just call out all the stupid tricks. They don't have to be good moves.
Yeah, and if you think this is good, wait till you see next match.
Ooh.
Okay, so no stalemates, right? There it is. Sunny side
Found
up.
the mates.
Glorious name, by the way. Glorious. Oh, I didn't even mean to make another pun with Glorious. Didn't realize her name was Gloria, but yeah, it's...
I was gonna say I don't understand the pun, but Glorious Gloria.
Gloria S.
There, yes.
I'm sorry. Okay. So apparently, Drexel lost both their matches, but that's okay. You guys got, is it 5 rounds left? So still plenty of chess left in the season. But also you guys strained, which is cool. Deep Blue Planet, inappropriate. I'm not sure what you mean. The Gloria pun name?
Maybe they mean the King's Gambit line that's getting played.
I don't know.
Very inappropriate.
I'm not sure what I did wrong.
So h4 by white. This is an interesting way to defend the h4 square. So it's actually the only way to defend the h4 square. You need the rook on h1 to defend h4, and you can actually do that by moving the pawn forward. Kind of an unusual idea to defend. D5 is always a good move for black in these kinds of positions. That's actually generally my advice. If you play e4, e5, and you find yourself in some tricky line where white is gambiting something, a lot of the time it's worthwhile just to play d5, even if you are losing a pawn by doing it, because it's just going to get your pieces into the game as quickly as possible. It's going to help you get active against whatever garbage white can throw your way.
Can black take on f3 and now take on h4? That looks like that's what they're doing.
Yep.
So
you certainly can. You certainly can.
So that seems annoying, to say the least. But
yeah, I mean, the white king honestly belongs on f1 though, so I don't think white is too upset about getting checked over to the f1 square. What white is probably more upset about is the queenside development. You need these pieces in, and you need them in fast.
I don't know. You only need half your pieces to win a game, right?
Like, I mean, you really only need one piece to win a game at the end of the day.
Yeah, the king.
Well, you can draw with the king. Maybe you need at least 2 pieces to win the game. All right, 2 pieces.
Okay. So, all right,
so bishop g3. So black is trying to develop the kingside knight, but you could not do that with the bishop on h4 because the rook would be able to take that bishop. So bishop g3 first, puts the bishop on a solid square, and black is going to develop out with knight f6 next, most likely. The bishop also defending that pawn on f4 is super convenient. Don't have to worry about white's bishop getting into the game as long as this f4 pawn remains on the board.
Now c4 from white. Okay.
Yeah, I would expect c4. I don't really love this check. Queen e7 isn't a bad move for black. Maybe queen b5 was the idea. No queen b5.
But wait, queen is b5 there pawn check? Can we go
there is,
d6, bishop takes b7?
Yeah, white's just a genius. I didn't see any of the tactics.
Wait, but they didn't do it.
Neither did they. But
I mean,
d6 would have been nice. Yeah, would have been nice. I think that just wins material.
Yeah, the computer didn't love that move though. I don't know.
Well, I think you trade off your best minor piece, which is the bishop on f3. It's actually the only minor piece you have developed, and it gives up your center. So you do technically win material, but it's only in exchange for a pawn, and it does trade off your only active piece in the position. So that's probably why it wasn't the top choice.
But Caleb, chess is all about the material.
Sometimes, but sometimes it's not.
What if I'm a material girl?
Living in a material world.
I just want to take that pawn and that rook, but now the rook has been freed, so it's not as good anymore.
Yeah, so now you don't have this tactic anymore, and black is probably going to castle by hand here. You know, king f8s, maybe even king g8s.
They could castle kingside or queenside still.
Castling queenside seems harder.
There's that rook still on a8, but yeah, I think white's plan should be like knight e2. You know, get that bishop out of there.
Yeah, deal with this bishop on g3. Honestly, I think E1. White should focus more on getting these center pawns rolling. I think that's where white has
the c5
advantage. Yeah, so something like c5, start aiming for d6. Knight b5 is also a very awkward move for black to meet. It's actually very difficult to defend the c7 pawn.
Okay, going bishop e1. I like this.
Yeah, so white goes more for your idea, trying to get rid of this annoying bishop. And then the problem is, after g5, like, you just have no way, really, to break down these kingside pawns for black. And so by kind of meeting black on the king's side, you're meeting black where they're strongest, rather than playing to your own strength in the center of the board.
I do like knight b5.
Yeah, knight b5, it's not quite as strong as it was before, I think, but it's still probably on the right track.
I like bishop e4.
Yeah, bishop e4, so white is still sort of stubbornly trying to win these pawns on the king's side, but actually I guess it's just working.
I like
h7 and g5 both under threat here.
I think white's gonna win this game. I mean, they should. They're the rating favorite, and they're the top board.
Yeah, after knight e4, I mean, no way to keep everything together.
Yeah, so those pawns are going to be weak, especially if you lose the G pawn. That F pawn becomes super weak as well.
So I actually think you do need to lose the G pawn though. So F6 would keep your G5 pawn, but I think in this case it's more important to keep the rook out because after rook takes H7, you've got
So
loads of
maybe
problems, right?
maybe H6.
I mean
Try to
H6
keep.
just rook H6, and then your G pawn still goes by the wayside.
Yeah, but you've distracted that rook by a move. See
That's
now
true.
now
It's true.
here you lose G pawn. I mean, yeah, maybe it wasn't savable, but
I mean,
uh,
black is definitely not out of it. Not out of it at all.
no, material's
Like,
even. I want to
hold on,
play
let me
king
count.
f2.
Yep, materials even.
I cheated.
King
I
f2, you might get checked one time.
You might get that check.
You're not scared about being checked one time.
I don't know.
You're very, very brave.
It
Very brave.
just there it is. I mean, I like connecting the rooks, you know. Now white has completed their development.
Yeah, so I was thinking h6 here, and then if you play knight f3, then my check might actually do something. So h6, I guess knight h3
Knight
must be the point.
h3, clearly going after the f
Yeah.
pawn.
Then I'm thinking maybe I go knight h5, and I'm angling for the g3 square. I'm holding my f4 pawn.
But then
Yeah,
king f3.
h6 seems like the thing to do. King f3 is a legal chess move. I agree. I agree. So maybe I go knight e4 check then after h6 knight h3. I think h6 has to be played. I don't see what else you can do here.
King
You need to free up
g6.
your king g6 is a very similar idea to h6, but now if you lose your f4 pawn, you lose it with check, which is very scary. I don't like getting checked.
Ah, taking the rook. This helps white
Yeah,
get that rook.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like this at all, really. You don't
Yeah.
really want to give up the file. You also don't really want to trade off all of the rooks because then you are just going to lose your f4 pawn, and that should just be a lost knight endgame.
Oh, so this is a trap. If king takes f4, there's knight takes g2 fork. Is white gonna fall for
Uh,
this? I doubt it.
yeah, I'm
Probably.
willing to bet white plays b3. Like even if you don't see knight g2, you probably see knight c4, and that also doesn't look very very good. So
Okay, so white has completed connect 4. This should be an automatic win.
I think those are the
That's
rules.
the rules in the Collegiate Chess League past a certain division. No, just
So
kidding.
imagine this position with the rooks still on e8 and h1, and it's just objectively better. You can move this knight around. You could play knight c2, for example, if you had this rook on e8, and maybe win the d4 pawn. But with white controlling the file, white just has rook e4 here, or
White
knight takes with
takes
check, and then rook e4.
rook e4.
Yeah, and white wouldn't have this option if black still contested the file. So giving up the file, not great. It does matter.
Yeah, another way
At
that I like
least.
to think about it is like when you actually trade these rooks, the difference in the position is that black lost this rook on e8 and white still has the rook on e1, but they lost that rook on h1. So you're really trading that rook on the e file for this h file rook, and
Yeah,
your rook on a8 is still there. Whereas like if white were to take first, for instance, you're trading that e1 rook for the a8 rook because then black will still have the rook on e8 and white will still have the rook on h8 or h1. So um, the common saying is to take is a mistake or whatever. People say stuff like that, and essentially it's because you're helping your opponent develop. Um,
it also rhymes, so that's
so
a
you
good
know it
indicator
must
that
be
it's
true.
yeah. If anybody tells you a chess principle and it doesn't rhyme, just don't believe them. It's
Oh, they're
it's
gonna
not
flag.
real.
Vast
Yeah,
toe ran out of time.
lost on time, but lost on the board as well. Very very tough game. Um, Black had some chances though. There were definitely some chances in that position.
So both top boards are 2 out of 2. I saw Abraham won their game as well, pretty
Yes.
quickly. I'm looking at the pawns 8. Christian Fink versus Senpai Patrick, the bottom board from Virginia. And it looks like Patrick's actually doing well.
Yeah, once again, Black, or the player with the open file, is doing well. It's nice to have the files. I think knight e3 is a threat. It would attack 2 pieces at the same time,
Ah,
and
that is also known as a fork.
It's legal. There
So
you go.
now,
So I guess rook c1 is the try, but I somehow don't believe this.
rook c1, rook c1 checks out. I think it works. Oh no, we have a sacrifice.
Yeah, couldn't find it.
Yes.
Rook e5 is fine.
Rook takes, but then your pawn's
no
attacking your
desperado.
knight, you know?
Yeah, it's just a trade, but you're up a piece, so trades are good.
Okay, so only 4 seconds for Christian. 2. Oh, they moved the bishop. There goes the pawn.
Just take all the stuff. Taking stuff is good.
Ah, there goes the time. So that is a point for the 4th board from Virginia. They're adding on to their lead. Now we have Gloria versus the Mukund Suresh, the 4th board from Rochester. So let's see. Are there tactics afoot?
Looks like Gloria's on the worst side of things here, to be honest.
Yeah, how is this working out? Rook takes b2. There's knight takes e4, and then what do we do?
Yeah, then you have to go rook b6, I guess.
This doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, I would have liked that line better than this though, because now in the other line you're winning the b6 pawn, and now you are not, and you're probably losing the c4 pawn. So I guess bishop d5 was the intention, and then you do end up winning the b6 pawn, but so bishop d5, bishop e6, for example, and then at the end of the day, you're going to be staring down 2 bishops with your rook, which is never a fun endgame. Or this move, but now I can take it.
Okay,
right?
rook takes. The knight's going to be hanging.
Yeah, bishop e6 was the way to go, I think, for Septile.
Okay. Rook check. There's king up. Attack the
Black
bishop.
certainly not in trouble or anything, but Black would have been very much pressing for the win with the 2 bishops against the rook.
Pawn push.
Yeah, Black needs kind of desperately to get coordinated now. You don't want to see like f4, e5 surprise you when your pieces just run out of squares.
Attacking the bishop. Yeah, f4. There it is. All right, fork incoming.
Bishop d4, I think, is going to be needed here. You just need to get your pieces on stable squares, as always.
Just push.
The minor pieces are at their best.
Go for connect 4.
Supported by pawns. Connect 4?
Oh, the rook sacrifice. What is this?
Oh my goodness. Bishops move backwards. Will it be found? God. Bishops move backwards.
See, that's why you need to play e5, so you don't blunder your rook. They didn't see it. They didn't do it.
Nobody sees the bishops move backwards.
So now, but where do we go, though? Rook a5.
Rook back to a8.
Goes back.
It.
Okay.
I love it.
So maybe, what if we see, like, f6? King's only got 1 square left. Okay, king f3?
Yeah, king f3.
Or this.
Or e5. So now, though, this does give up some squares. Like, the f5 square is going to be a great square for this knight to sort of hang out on.
Okay, so give me the bishop pair.
This loses. Rook a4. Rook a4.
Ah, rook a4. That is a skewer.
Gotta be careful lining your pieces up.
There's no checks. The king's on a light square. The knight is like 2 diagonals from the king. That's not good. Wow. So Gloria finding the tactics to stay in it. Rook takes bishop. And there's
something
I
found is players seem to think that these kinds of endgames where you're down just an exchange and all the pawns are on one side, like, you know, maybe you might think you have some chance of holding it, but these endgames are actually really, really difficult for Black to even pose like any problems. You have to be very cautious. Although I'm not in love with what White has done here. This h4 pawn is hanging.
I like e7 though. Oh, e7 would have been winning on the spot.
Yeah, I think. What do I think? Yeah.
They missed it.
I think e7 was good.
E7 was just a new queen on the board.
Maybe white had it all under control, but it looked a little bit risky there for a second. And now
I don't
we
know.
are in
F5,
this position.
F5. Yeah.
F5, but the
Just
pawns
do it.
continue to be traded.
Just do
Continue
it.
to be traded.
No, but this is good. King in G5 now. There
Yep.
goes the H pawn.
There. Okay. Okay,
Rook
7.
check.
And knight.
King
knight
up.
F7's not enough.
Hmm.
Okay, gaining the increment. I love gaining the increment.
Yes, more time is good. Save the pawn. King F5 now. Attack the knight and threaten Rook A7. Nope. Okay, King G5. Okay. And now push the pawn.
One way or another.
Push,
it's going to get
push.
there. Okay, I don't understand that check. Rook A7. You want to check from a distance in these kinds of endgames. The rook is a long-range piece. You're fighting against two short-range pieces.
Check.
You're going to be as far away as possible.
2 seconds. Move. 1 second. Oh my god. If you lose on time with the knight, is that a loss? 1 second.
Not on chess.com.
Oh,
not on chess.com.
2.5. So we've lost our increment. 1 second. Oh, they're gonna flag.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Okay, well at least they got a draw, but that's rough.
Yeah, white really needed to keep the rook at a distance. You want to check from far away. Use the long range powers of that rook in that endgame.
So the fourth board from Rochester getting a draw out of Gloria, the second board. Okay. See, Senpai Patrick also got a win against Christian. Did I give them a point for that yet? I actually don't remember. I think I did. Let's see. There's one game left in this round. We have Patrick. Actually, no, this is the next round. Patrick versus Dylan Stein. They're Patrick close in rating.
Yeah, this is the tight match. So white invaded on the d file, got rook d8 in, but then bishop g4 actually was a nice way to solve all of black's problems. You know, you can test that rook on d8, you get all your pieces into the game, and you make some nice threats against the knight.
I think white should have taken on a8 because then black takes back, the rook's on a8. Here, you're helping the rook take towards the center, and now it has pressure on e5. And black could take that knight, and they do. So white has these double pawns of the f-file.
I've seen better pawn structures.
Yeah, I mean,
certainly seen better pawn structures.
The double pawns on the c-file are definitely worse.
But hold on, check my math, Joe. But it looks like white does have one more pawn than black.
They do have an extra pawn.
That's why they're not too upset about this.
Your math checks out there.
Yeah, this is a hard one to count, but I think I did count it.
I can always count on you, Caleb.
Oh, always.
Mm-hmm.
So I want this rook back on the file, so I think rook d8 makes sense. b5. Trying to dislodge this bishop. Don't know how I feel, to be honest. I don't know how I feel about it. Bishop back to f1.
Bishop retreats. Would you have gone to b3 instead?
I might have taken that knight, to be honest with you. That knight's actually kind of annoying me.
So take the knight,
firmly.
Rook takes, and then would you play f5?
No, c4 was actually my idea. C4. I wanted to leave the king side as is, and then start provoking some more weaknesses.
You wouldn't go f5 with tempo, and then f4, and then c4?
Yeah, I suppose you could.
No,
but I don't know. I just didn't really want to touch the king's side here. I think my king's side setup is actually not so bad.
En passant, we could triple our pawns. That's always cool.
That is very tempting. Love a good triple pawn.
What's up, Wikipedia? And they're all evenly spaced out, so they all can move forward. You know, 1 squares.
Yeah. They can all move.
What's up, Kim Stud? Yes, I'm joined today by National Master Caleb Denby, the one and only. Oh, yes, we do have en passant.
Great to be here. Tripled pawn success.
Oh, there it goes.
For a brief moment, white had 7 pawn islands, almost the maximum. Almost the max.
Wait, 7 really? 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean,
it depends on how you count.
Yeah, I'm
If you
wondering,
count,
is C2, C3, those are pawn islands? They look like a one landmass to me.
I got in a
A
massive
debate.
debate with a number of people over this. I used to
Really?
be on team doubled pawns only count as one pawn island,
But
but then
you've been
I
persuaded.
think I was swayed at some point. I don't remember.
Wow, I didn't know this was one of the hotly debated topics in the chess world. Like you told me
Yeah,
about this queen and knight versus queen and bishop combo. Now you're
be
telling me about the pawn island debate.
be careful going around claiming you know how many pawn islands there are. People might fight you about it.
Um, so how do you feel about the rook trade?
How do I feel about the rook trade?
The people are dying to
Probably
know.
it was good for
Both sides.
somebody. Good for somebody. Good for white, I think,
Okay.
because
C
the rook would be a lot more effective at targeting these weak pawns, and now the bishop is going to dominate the knight a little bit, and might make life easier
see
for white.
Kim Stud in the chat is asking if the bishop must be better than the knight here. What do you think, National Master Caleb Dimby?
I agree.
Bishop's better than knight here.
So the general rules for the old bishop versus knight endgames are usually, pawns on both sides of the board. The long range powers of the bishop are going to be important, and that does actually hold true here.
Now
So white
there
is going
are
to look to.
arguments. I would argue. I mean, I could see the argument for the knight because the knight can control both light and dark squares, and I notice a lot of black's pieces are on dark squares. This knight can go to, I guess, e5, but I guess we can kick out. Yeah, these outpost squares on the dark squares, this f4 pawn could dislodge them, so that is true. But that
Yeah,
is
and the
something to
thing
think about.
is, having this stable square for your knight is very important, but it's also not going to be the most useful unless it's targeting something. So that's why I actually really don't like white's last move. Now knight e5 very much would be targeting something. It targets the pawn on c4. Knight d6, same exact idea. Also very, very strong. And now I think white is just losing a pawn.
Oh, or a
Oh, now
bishop.
white's losing a bishop. Oh, God.
You
All
could
right.
take on c4 check first, but yeah, knight takes here is pretty winning. So yeah, I told you, the knight's definitely better than the bishop there. I don't know why
Yeah,
you guys
clearly
thought that the bishop
I
was
was
any good.
mistaken.
This was definitely a forced sequence from white. Bishop f7 only move there, and that knight's dominant power really shining here. So I think Senpai Patrick should be able to close this one out against the Vast Toe.
I believe in him. Maybe we should check out Sunny Side Up against Def Chessmaster.
Yes. So this is two players that haven't lost yet. Abraham is 2 for 2. Gloria had that draw against McCund the
Yeah,
last round.
there were some scary moments, some hanging rooks in that last one, but Gloria did end up getting the half points.
So I like Def Chessmaster here. I think they double up on the C file, and I don't know,
Yeah,
this C pawn's looking
it's
kind of weak.
it's actually not so bad for white. You can go rook e3 very comfortably, and yes, c3 is weak, but it's well defended. And black has some weaknesses as well. H7 is currently under attack,
Oh,
and
they
okay,
push.
c4 doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know what this is about. It's a free pawn. I'll take it.
Well,
Okay,
they're just
b5
ganging
is
up on it.
b5 is very, very fancy.
They're bullying the spawn, Caleb. I don't know how I feel about.
Big bullies on the c file.
They didn't even consider this pawn's feelings.
Yeah.
Neither player, by
Well,
the way, neither player, because first off, white neglected it by pushing it to c4, literally
the
pushing
good
the
news
pawn around.
is it's not going to be a slow death. I think that pawn will be out of its misery soon
This,
enough.
there it goes.
Yeah,
Can we get some
the suffering's over.
F's in chat for that poor pawn?
Yeah.
Like Caleb said, it could have been defended with rook e3. It could have been loved and supported, but it was tossed aside, pushed into the void.
Thrown in a ditch.
And now this bishop on d5. We could have taken on h7 and
The good
I don't
news,
know.
Joe, there's a new c4 pawn, and I think this one's going to get a lot more love.
The Foster pawn.
Yeah, it's going to get a lot more attention,
Um.
a lot more
Okay,
care.
so f5 would be a threat if not for this pesky rook on c5.
Yeah, it is kind of scary though. You don't want to leave these sort of tactics just kind of hanging in the air. You want to sort of solve them as they're brought up, because you might forget about them someday, or White might find some way to distract your rook eventually. So especially in blitz, it's really nice just to sort of deal with these threats as they come, and then you don't have to. You don't even have to think about f5. If you deal with it.
Gloria is very low on time, by the way, and f5 now is just hanging by everything.
Well, no, c4 is attacked twice, so it's a little distraction there, trying to get
There's
the
distraction. But now
yeah,
rook
trying to
g2.
get black to give up on c4.
I mean, I think that like it would have been worth it though. Like if rook takes f5, you get rook f2 and like you double up and who knows?
Yeah, maybe White can try to survive there with some rook d1 idea to uh,
Uh
pin the d rook to the king. But I mean, this is very much good enough.
White's
Good
threatening
enough.
check on d8, but black can trade rooks with rook h1.
Yeah, rook h1 is not more than trading rooks, because bishop f3 would be illegal, but trading is good. And now, yeah, I mean, the real story is the 9 seconds versus 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's just not going to be feasible. Yeah, rook c5 now, and at the very least, we can trade the bishops.
Bishop d5.
There's actually bishop d1 maybe.
Bishop
Might be annoying.
d1 check.
Okay, just rook g5.
Over
I mean,
rook
there's a number
check.
of ways to win here.
Are there any ways to lose here? That's what the people want to know.
Ooh, well, pieces moving backwards has been an issue
Mm.
for the players today. So trying to find any tricky backwards movements, but I'm not seeing them, to be honest.
Attacking the bishop. Okay, we can take on f7, and we do.
Okay.
So black's only up a pawn.
Things seem to be kind of slipping here for
Only
black.
one pawn. Oh, that's for
Gloria.
wait. Oh, that hangs the bishop.
See, pieces moving backwards.
Oh, the
Strikes
backwards
again.
bishop moves. They're so tough.
Strikes again.
Okay. Bishop check. Saving the a pawn. Rook check. Rook block. Rook over. Pawn push. 3 seconds. Maybe pawn push again. Don't move the h pawn though.
Yeah, f4 I don't think is needed. You're up 2 minutes. You do whatever. It doesn't matter.
Gloria goes down to
valiant effort trying to survive on the increment.
top
but
board.
Could not get it done.
So yeah, Abraham
So
trying to keep the team in it. I don't.
Yeah, that's 3-0 for Abraham, right?
Yes, undefeated, flawless. And I see we have Patrick versus McCund. They're just somewhat into it. I like white because of the difference in the kings.
Yeah, Patrick seems to like this move b4. I think it's showing up in a number of his openings. And here it looks like it's working out for him. Black fell into this classic little trick with bishop f7 and queen d5, and now stuck with the king on f8. White is still down a pawn, but very, very active, and black with king troubles.
Yeah, black's
Hey, rook e8.
doubling up on the e file, going after e4. So I guess the idea maybe is to take on f3, but white doesn't have to take with the knight. They can take with the queen, right? But then maybe black's knight comes in a tempo or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I sort of expected knight h4 from white. I think that knight belongs on f5.
Yeah, knight h4
Knight
actually
h4
is looking
nice.
really strong.
Meanwhile, with black here, I want to play king g8 and king h7 and rook f8 and then king g8. And then I wash my hands of this king f8 business. I'm castled one way or the other.
Castling by hand. It it's a hard work, but it pays off.
Yes.
It's worthwhile.
I don't know so much that it pays off, such that not castling by hands is just too
Okay, so
bad. All right.
clearly the king is at home on f8, and the rook
Yeah.
says, I'm gonna go to g8 and push my g pawn.
No, I'm expecting bishop f7 next, and then the king will feel very comfy and cozy with all of his friends surrounding him.
Or what we really need is knight d8, knight f7, and then somehow we need a smothered mate on g6.
Very doable. Very, very doable.
Possible. The players could construct it.
So the problem now for black is without the rooks connected, white is going to be able to play this move e5. I think that's what Patrick is aiming for. And if e5 gets achieved, then the files start to open, and the missing rook on g8 will not be able to help out.
Oh, we're so close to bishop a3, but black has c5. Okay, rook c1. Very...
Rook ac1, I think, is just a good move.
Just very, sneaky. Work your way in. Oh, they pulled the trigger too soon. c5 is found now. That's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
Because now black can play like b6 and they're totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, black somehow seems to be surviving thus far.
And they're up a minute on the clock too, so that's worthwhile. That's some value. Yeah, I mean bishop a3 is a great move, but it was just too soon. Just too soon. Like a poorly timed joke.
So I had bad things to say about rook g8, but aside from that, I think black has actually defended very, very well here. They've kept everything together. They haven't panicked when white started making threats, and they kept things closed, which is important here. If your rook can't play, you at least need to keep things locked down. Okay, this last move does blunder a pawn, though, so now white should be winning, and everything I just said is no longer true.
You take it all back.
I take it all back.
Queen takes e5. Wow, tactics.
Yeah, so queen d2 seems like it attacks a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
And yeah, now this e pawn is passed, and it's supported by a rook.
And that rook on g8 still not participating. Still not.
Yeah,
participating.
we haven't followed up with g5.
Yeah. So king f7, trying to get the rook in one way or another.
I'm guessing rook e8.
Yeah, so I like queen f4 here. I think it's nice. It stops queen d2. It threatens e5 and does not allow black really the time to play rook e8. Although maybe you still can. Probably you still can. So queen f4, rook e8, and then after e5, just king g8, and you have this pin down the e file to save your life.
I see this. But does Senpai Patrick see this?
We'll see.
Does McCunn see this? Will we see rook e8?
Rook e8 seems absolutely necessary here. Otherwise, I mean, you can't just play like king e8 or something to get out of this.
You don't want to
pin.
play king g6?
There's no way. Oh, king g6? Well, then queen f5, and then e5 still.
Yeah, I know. But there's still rook e8.
Yeah, but then you're a tempo down, unfortunately.
Shucks.
It's a useful tempo.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness, he does it.
There it is.
Actually, king g6.
This mad lad, he wants to go to h7. Will white allow it to happen?
I mean, queen f5 check is just too natural, I think, to not play.
Computer says e5 right away. Oh.
Oh my goodness, e5, and if the knight moves, then you probably have checkmate with like queen e4 and then queen f5, and king is very much getting corralled.
But no, so we have g4.
Yeah, I don't know what g4 is all about, to be honest.
Still e5, apparently.
Wow, rook f8 still not going, king h7.
So now king f7.
Yeah, e5 is just going to be good.
So only legal move king f7 played, and now e5.
Yeah, this is the one rule in chess that I think can actually be followed 100% of the time. You know, all this stuff like bishops are better than knights, you know, queen and knight, like all of that stuff, that's all garbage. But the best rule is if you only have one legal move, you should play it.
There's always resigning, Caleb.
No, one legal move, you should play it.
I agree. Never resign.
Never.
All right, so I see our the queen is forking the rook and the pawn on a2, so we should clearly play rook a1, saving both, right?
That would be one way to play chess, for sure.
No, I personally probably would have gone rook e3.
Yeah, rook e3 was nice because it defended this bishop on a3, and you wouldn't have to deal with that threat now.
Dude, look at those 3 outside connected passed pawns, though. They're looking pretty spiffy over there.
Yeah, even up a piece, white could definitely get into danger.
But saving the bishop, and looks like that knight is going to be cooked soon. E takes
so
f6.
Taking a look here, what's the current score? Do you know?
I believe Virginia's up 3 points.
Oh my goodness. Queens move backwards. Queens move backwards. Strikes again.
They missed it at first, but they saw it the second time. Oh my gosh.
Queen e6, double blindness. X-clam, forking the king and queen.
What a fork that was.
That'll win the game.
And yeah, Makonda's speechless now. They moved too quick.
Yeah.
I mean, white moved too quick at first, but black doubled their speed. And that's that. I see a result between Dylan and Logan. They split that game at a draw. Yeah, Patrick resigned, or won. Their opponent resigned. So I think Virginia is at least guaranteed a draw in this match. They just need a half a point to confirm the win. If my count is correct. I think my count is off, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is the last game, is it not?
So I see the top 2 boards are playing.
Oh, I'm missing one. All right then.
You're missing Abraham versus Alexander.
Ah, there they are.
The 2 presidential names.
Okay, so 2 games left then.
Yeah, so I'm missing 2 games. But I don't know. I expect Virginia to at least get a draw in one of these 2 positions. Well, okay. First off, Def Chess Master's looking really good. 2 pieces for a rook.
Yeah, and powerful knight on e5 and sort of a fluid structure. You can go f5 kind of whenever you want.
So
I like rook c1. Just get active.
Abraham should win this, and that will help them go 4 for 4. But let's keep an eye on Gloria's game. She only has 20 seconds. Actually, she's losing this one too, so maybe I should try to figure out what I'm missing.
Yeah, also a rook for 2 pieces here.
Let me see. Let me do some detective work. So the Pawns 8 has lost all of their games, Christian Fink, and they're the board 2 for Rochester. So they're really going to try to win this one. You know, if they tried to win any of the games, this one especially.
The team needs them now more than ever. If they can mount this last round comeback.
So Senpai Patrick has actually won 3 games out of 4. So that's actually enough for Virginia to win. So that was
what a result
that I was
for board
missing.
4.
Yeah, really strong. Actually, they're leading their team. So I think maybe it was just like a really crazy like rating fluctuation. I don't know.
Well, I think the lower 3 boards for you. No, I'm sorry. The lower 3 boards for Rochester were all around 1,400. So I was gonna say maybe the difference between board 4 and board 2 wasn't so great, but for UVA it actually is. So massive result for Patrick.
Yes. Let me see if I can find the last game that I'm missing, but it shouldn't impact the score.
Oh, I don't know if you are missing one. No, you are missing one. Septile is just playing
Ah,
other chests. Just playing more chests for fun.
that looks like a 5-5 game.
That's a strange time control.
Well,
But
that's the closest to what our matches are, 5-2. So
I see.
that would be the most accurate way to. Oh my God, sunny side up with 0.4 seconds left.
Very, very close to flag.
So yeah, rook versus two pieces, but a bunch of pawns, like
All right,
like
Joe.
too many pawns.
I have a plan here. Do you want to hear my plan?
Yes.
H4, H5, H6, H7, H8. That's my plan. Ah, that plan is good
Flagging
too.
works. Yeah,
It is also good.
that's a faster way to win, it seems.
So that's one more for
So
Rochester, which is going to tighten up the score just a little bit,
Christian
but
Fink, I mean, that
probably
also
not enough.
prevents them from getting shut out on board too. So
This is true.
there's that. Yeah, maybe I'm missing Virginia's top board.
Abraham here manages to pin that rook
Did they lose a game?
and does win the final game for Rochester.
So that, hey, at least they swept.
Yeah, 4 out of 4
Let's
for
see.
Abraham. Good result. The lower boards though are where Rochester struggles.
Alexander, that was the game that I was missing. They won 3 out of their 4. So they were both 3 out of 3 going in that. But Abraham took down Alexander for their first loss. But that final score is 6-10. Virginia B wins. So congrats to them. And
yeah, team effort for Virginia, sort of spreading their points across the whole team. And Abraham, one man is not enough. Not enough to win a match.
Yeah, and Virginia's fourth board with a huge result, 3 out of 4 as well. So, but yeah, that's that. We have another match starting in about 5 minutes. We have Stony Brook's C team versus Queen Mary University of London, who we've never seen in the league before. This is the first time they will be streamed, which is exciting.
Oh.
And yeah, I think we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.